All right, what's up, man? So I got a chance to check out the fight between Mairis Briedis and Marco Huck. Briedis gets the victory. Pretty much coasted in this fight, man. Huck looked like it was hard for him to get off. Just looks like one of those Asian fighters, man. That when they say it's hard to pull the trigger. You know what I mean? Briedis just outworked him, man. Looked like he buzzed him a few times in the fight, especially with a shot he caught him with late in the fight. I think it was like the 11th, 12th round. But he just got outworked. It was kind of hard for me to really give Huck any rounds in that fight, man. Just got outworked, and he's really like a slow starter in most of his fights that I've seen him in. And he kind of started off like that. Breeders kind of reminds me of a like a cruiserweight version of Danny Garcia in the sense that he's not really going to wow you with anything, but he's very solid, skill set, very steady fighter. You know what I mean? You could rely on him for what I've seen in Breedis' fights. You know what I mean? You kind of know what to expect. So he's not going to wow you with anything with like hand speed or crazy foot movement. Just a real solid, fundamentally sound dude. So congratulations, man. He picks up the WBC title. Now they were going to fight for the interim WBC, but then the WBC just a few days ago they came out and said that Tony Bellew would now be the emeritus champion, and the winner of this fight will be the full champion. Now if Bellew comes back, he will be the mandatory. So it's kind of uncertain about what he's going to do. I know Grigory Drazic, he was the champion in recess, so I'm not sure what's going to happen with those two. As of right now, though, next month, yeah, May 20th, you're going to have the rematch between Dmitry Kudryashov and Darudila. That's going to be a good fight, man. The first fight was a pretty good fight. It ended in the second round. Kudryashov was favored to go in there and knock him out. And he was landing some punches, but he was taking some punches too. Kudryashov, man, when in that fight with Darudila, when I watched that first one, he was rolling and kind of, trying to duck under punches, but his defense, he's still flat-footed, still in one, he's still stationary, and he's there to be hit. You know what I mean? So watching him roll with punches, he was like rolling with punches and getting hit at the same time. But, you know what I mean? Good for him that Darudila is there to be hit too. They're going to fight a close quarter fight, I think, in the rematch when they fight next month. And that's going to be another exciting fight. You know what I mean? But the winner of that will be the WBC silver title. They'll most likely be the mandatory. I think it is the mandatory for Breeders. So curious to see when the WBC is going to, when the winner of that fight will have to fight Breeders. But until then, who can Breeders fight? Would you guys want to see him, try to unify? I know Gassiev has the IBF. I still believe Lebedev has the WBA, even though he lost that fight. And that was a good fight he had with Gassiev. You know what I mean? But I believe he still has the WBA last I checked. And we know Usyk's getting ready to fight next week against Michael Hunter Jr. That's going to be an interesting fight. Don't sleep on that fight. So will he try to unify, fight his mandatory first? If he makes a voluntary defense, who can he fight? Like a Makabu or a Machuno, somebody like that. Andrew Tabiti, I like to see him get a shot, man. I like to see Andrew Tabiti. That dude got some fast hands. I want to see him get in the mix. The last I checked, he was rated high in the WBC, I believe. But yeah, man, shout out to Mairis Briedis. He went in there, he did his thing. Huck, he went to 12 rounds, man. He just looked like he was hard for him to get off. Briedis' jab was giving him some problems. Like I said, he's just a steady fighter. Good, good solid defense, good solid offensive skill set, solid footwork. You know what I mean? Economical with the way he does things in there. So props to Briedis, man. I'm out.